back. It is cheapo time again in the cheapo nation. Guess what? Anning is in the house yet again. I know you guys have been all anxiously awaiting this one. Well, maybe not, but hey, it's an Anning, okay? This is the pen type meter, 4,000 counts, true RMS A3004, actually A3004. And that's what we're taking a look at today. Bevy of pen style multimeters. You know, at one point they were really becoming few and far between, but for whatever reason, they have definitely once again taken off in terms of popularity. A3004 ships in a pretty decent looking box, gives you a good verbose indicator of what you're getting. That pen meter looks so nice on the box. You also get your standard negative test probe, because yes, you can do some probing with your pen style meter. Finally, you get your pull-out sheet, little instruction manual. Wow, the font is tiny, but nothing more than a spec sheet tells you what the meter is capable of. In terms of capabilities, you know, spec-wise, it's not that bad. 600 volts AC DC, and you have 200 milliamps as well. Yeah, it does do current, awesome. And you know what? It does capacitance. Yeah, go figure, up to 4 millifarad, 4,000 microfarad. So all in all, you know what? That is not bad for a little pen style. Whoop-de-doo, you know what I'm saying? Looks fit and finish, you know. I'll be honest, it is a little on the cheap side. It feels cheap. I'd say it even kind of looks cheap. Almost looks like a kid's toy. What kind of toy, I'm not sure. Plastic ice pick? No, that wouldn't be a good toy for kids, but it just looks, yeah, a little on the cheap side. It's a little heavier actually than I first presumed, so that's usually a good thing in the multimeter realm, but you know, probably not going to give you any huge reason to put a smile on that face when you first take it out of the box, because yeah, it just feels a little cheap. As well, you have our standard test lead. We get the one test lead for the negative probe. This one has a rating on it, or does it have a rating? It's got to have a rating. We have a CE logo, actually. Surprising. Okay, well, not really that sharp. There we are, 1000 volt cat 3, 10 amps. So, yeah, we'll see. Nice shrouding on the end. Oh, yeah. So, all in all, yeah, not bad. Take note, this does not do high current. We're talking milliamps. That's it, that's all. So, if you want to test anything over 200 milliamps, you're gonna have to pull out a different meter. Yeah, that selector switch, once again, you know, it does hit that range with authority. It's just a little sloppy, so definitely could have done better in that selector range. As well, look at that pointer indicator. You know, it just blends in just way too well. They really should have put that a different color, perhaps white or orange or something, just a different color indicator. Powered by 2 AAA batteries, that's a good thing. And we have one of these easy slip off, no tool required to gain access to the battery housing, so yeah, not bad. Starting off with the Rhodey selector switch at the milliamp position. Non-contact voltage, resistance, diode, continuity, and capacitance. Volts AC up to 600 volts. Volts DC up to 600 volts. Buttons, we have the hold, which is also the backlight. In the middle we have our range, and finally on the far right we have our select. Alright, without further ado, let's turn it on, shall we? And bada boom, bada bing, there you go. So a little washed out perhaps. In fact, you know what? Oh yes, it has that plastic layer. I missed that, So I gotta take that off first. Give me a minute. Oh my goodness, like a good sunburn. All right, with that extra layer removed, definitely not bad. In terms of contrast, it's there. We do have a lot of glare though, just because of the nature of the bezel itself. It is bringing in a lot of that light, so it might be a little hard to see outside. But you know what? We do have a backlight as well, so let's try that out. Oh, much better indeed. So nice, and we have a kind of a blue contrast going on in the background. I like that. So with that backlight, really stands out much easier. In fact, I think if I was outside, I would probably have that backlight enabled just to get rid of a lot of the glare. Hey, you know what? That is not too shabby. Yeah, I like it. Now, does that backlight go off? Well, probably. We'll give it a minute. We'll find out. There you go. So it lasted about 35 seconds or so. So not bad. Once again, obviously we prefer when that backlight stays on indefinitely, but at least it doesn't go off after a few seconds, so it is rather useful. If we compare the ANENG to a few other pen style multimeters, you can see it is definitely not one of the largest, but it's also not one of the smallest, sort of in between, probably a little bit on the more bigger side as opposed to smaller. Compared to that UNI-T, it does look like a behemoth, but compared again to the Alsun, it does seem quite compact. So all in all, size-wise, it seems to be okay. I prefer a smaller footprint, such as the UNI-T over here, but oh well. On the back, we have the input for that negative lead, and it goes in just like so. Yeah, so pretty tight fit. Okay, maybe not so tight. What the heck's going on? Let's try that again. Ah, there we are. Wow, you really got to stick it in there, but there we go. All right, that's not going anywhere. DC accuracy test, and whoa, look at that, 5.00. Excellent. Doesn't get much better than that. Excellent. Excellent. It's a lot of wires. Quick look at resistance now, sitting at 1 mega ohm and 1.005 mega ohm. Awesome. All right, there we go. 2 mega ohm right now. Let's bring it up. 3 mega ohm, 4 mega ohm, 5 mega ohm, 8 mega ohm, 9 mega ohm. So, you know, fast to range, which is really sweet as well. I like it. Next up, a 150 kilo ohm, 1% precision resistor, and we're coming up as 166.5. So, a little out in the resistance department, but well, at least it's not that bad. Finally, we'll look at that lab resistor. 100 ohms is what we want to see. And 101. So yeah, a little bit out, not precision, but you know, it's a pen meter, so definitely workable. So you might be saying, why do they call it a pen style multimeter anyway? Good question. Well, the answer is really simple, because you can write with it. Just kidding. Remember, this meter cost me, get a load of this, $9 Canadian, AliExpress. That was cheap. It's cheap. It's a cheap meter. It's a cheapo. That's why it's here in the cheapo realm. When you pay that little money for any test instrument, you always have to give it a little bit of leeway. So, so far, considering the price, I'm pretty happy. Worth mentioning is the fact that when you enable that backlight, you actually are enabling the flashlight at the same time. Yeah, you cannot have one without the other. Kind of like my wife and my mother-in-law. But anyway, yeah, so why? Why can't I just have the backlight without the flashlight? Anyway. To take a really quick look at capacitance, just one capacitor is all I'm going to test today, 560 microfarad. This does up to 4,000 microfarad or 4 millifarad, so pretty good, pretty good. Here we go. Are we capacitance? We're not in capacitance. Let's get into capacitance. There we go. All right. A little awkward here, bear with me. Take note that tip does come off, just give it a little twirl, and yeah, look at that, no more shrouding, so a little bit more room to play. So I'm gonna see if we can stick on one of these crocodile clips. No, not enough room. Not enough, too much wiggly. Ah, dang it. After a little kerfuffle, hey, get a load of that. I've got a crocodile lead, or alligator clip, whatever you wanna call it. A little bit of extra. So, all right, here we go. That on that, and we're going to focus here so you can see, and I'm going to take the other end of the test lead, put it on the capacitor. Remember, 560 microfarad is what we want to see. It's thinking, and there we are, 522 microfarad, so definitely in spec. Oh, good to see. So 4,000 millifarad, 4,000 microfarad, 4 millifarad is the baseline for this, so pretty darn good. It's a pen meter. Looking at AC volts right now in the high-powered mains, 117.6 volts, true RMS, good stuff. I understand pen meters might not be for everybody, but you know, if you haven't had one, give it a try. And I mean, at this low price of $9, $10, whatever, it's definitely worth trying. Okay, continuity time, my favorite time. Here we go. Stock default test leads. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to try the Pro Masters, but that's okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Beauty. Latched. Fairly loud. And all things considered, not too shabby. .9 decibels maximum output volume in continuity. Okay, stop laughing. Yes, I still don't have a red LED. If anybody has one, please, can you send one in for the love of God? I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I've been really busy this last month, and I'm in the midst of transitioning my lab, and I just haven't had the chance to create a new little test LED bed, but that's okay. You know what? We'll get through it. We'll get through it. Here we go. Starting off with the green LED. Make sure we are in LED mode, which I believe we are not. There we go. LED mode. Okay. Now it's a little awkward, obviously, what we're doing here, but I'm trying. Starting off with the green LED, and it is lit with a forward voltage drop. Moving over to Mr. Yellow. Lit with forward voltage drop. And the red, okay, just pretend. It's lit with a forward voltage drop. Over to the blue, and we have nothing. Oh my God. And the white, no can do. No can do. I'm going to say 3 out of 5 just because, yeah, the blue and the green. Normally the red should follow, but always the blue and white are the tough ones. All right, in front of me I have a sick fluke. Sick fluke. Isn't this justice? We have a $9 cheapo. Trying to fix, trying to repair, trying to diagnose a $200 fluke. I love it. I love it. Karma, baby. Okay. We're in diode mode. We're going to check out forward voltage drop. There it is. Nice and fast. Now we don't have any audible beep here whatsoever, but it works. Output voltage in diode mode is an uncanny 2.29 volts. Well, it's not really that uncanny. I just felt like saying uncanny. I don't know why. It happens every now and then. Hey, if you didn't already see the Dick Smith review I did a couple of years back, check it out. It was a lot of fun, and I had a lot of good feedback. Even Dave Jones from EEV Blog left a little comment. I thought that was really nice. Thanks, Dick, and thanks, Dave. Okay, it is that inglorious NCV time again. We are in NCV mode. It's coming up as EF. Okay, so we're getting one bar. Okay, let's go over to the high-powered mains. Funny enough, when you're in NCV mode, that flashlight does not come on by default. So I'm gonna get that flashlight going because it really should come on. And here we are again. Oh boy. Yeah, so look at that. Sensitivity-wise, really no different than just a bloody light switch. Yeah, so sucks again. Now this is a big failure for me. Any pen style meter should really have a phenomenal NCV. That non-contact voltage is half the reason why you should be carrying one of these around anyway. So that is a big fail. Ugh. By the way, we do have that live wire mode, and it does work much better than the NCV. So at least something works there. Okay, well, so far, you know, it was really good up until that NCV moment. That's a big, makes me mad. NCV is a big reason why you're going to have a pen style meter in your pocket. So to have a, you know, some dismal performance with non-contact voltage, for me, defeats the purpose of having a pen style meter anyway. Anyway, let's take a look at the inside. Here we are on the inside of the ANENG, and you can tell not much going on. No shielding on the reverse side, and yeah, you can tell that plastic molding is definitely on the cheap side. No high quality PVC here, just really cheap plastic, but well, there we have the connectors for the battery to AAA 1.5 volts, as I pointed out earlier. And let's start off with that negative input. You can tell over here, whoa, long piece of metal filament connecting your negative jack to the input. But solder wise, I gotta say, all things considered, pretty generous with those solder blobs. Nicely done. Looks like it was hand soldered, and hey, that's okay. There's our IC cobbed as always. At the top, you see our fuse, little glass fuse, 5x20, 250 volt, 200 milliamp. Below that, we have the PTC on the voltage side, the MZ3. Hey, it's great to see a little PTC, better than nothing. And we have our speaker right below that, the piezo buzzer. Right, look at that glob of solder. Whoa, that's a big one. And yeah, that is holding that red. Not much going on, really. And wow, that's why that NCV was just so atrocious. Really nothing else here for the non-contact voltage. I'm assuming it's using the test lead as the antenna for the NCV, but it is doing a piss poor job, sorry to say. Already gonna put it back together, come back with my closing thoughts. Closing thoughts on the ANENG AN3004 pen type meter. Well, you know what? All things considered, I kind of like it. Once again, it's a big miss on the NCV non-contact voltage. I was expecting that to be semi-stellar since this is a pen style meter, but it was a complete fail in that department. And that is really half the reason why you're going to have this meter in your pocket. Besides the atrocious NCV, everything else was actually another point worth mentioning is the fact that after using this for a few hours, I could say, hands down, ergonomically speaking, this meter is really well done. It had the perfect weight in the hand, and it never felt cumbersome. Even though it looks a little herky-jerky, it didn't feel that way. Has a lot of features, and you gotta like that backlight, nice and bright, and definitely makes a difference contrast-wise when you're in the great outdoors. Though, I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, not this time anyway. This is a pen-type meter that does offer a lot of bang for the proverbial buck, and we're talking little bucks at that. All in all, I think it's a pretty fair deal. I just wish, oh, I wish they could improve that NCV. The A3004 pen type meter from ANENG gets a solid 2.5 out of 5 stars. Hey, if you don't have a pen type meter, this might be a good one to start with, at least to see if it's something you're actually gonna use. Thanks for watching this review. Everybody, stay safe, get vaccinated. Till the next one, keep on testing.